book notes for a 2003 autobiography, Worth the Fighting For, of John McCain. He was an American Republican. He was a military man and a politician. And we have not had a military man since run for the United States of America president, which if it's time for a president with a certain background, I would say the only true solution to that is a military man or woman. Every time. I consider that a trump card. Especially somebody who has extended service. Like both my grandparents, my grandpa and my granddad were fighter pilot in the U.S. Navy and United States American Navy, and then a sniper in the United States of America Army, and they both were on location and stuff, and it requires international diplomacy when deployed, and family dynamics, working through that and understanding the dynamics of war and stuff like that. So for me, there we go. I'm Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle, and this is a 2003 autobiography on American politician John McCain, Worth the Fighting For, the education of an American Maverick and the heroes who inspired him, by John McCain, with Mark Salter, 2003 Random House Trade Paperback edition, paperback, ISBN in the video description. This is a public library copy. I went and I was like, can I flesh out, I mean, I've talked about going to the presidential inauguration in 2009. Had he been elected, I would have seen him because I signed up before the 2008 presidential election took place. So had he been elected, I would have seen him, which I think there were a fair number of us who would have preferred to have seen John McCain. I'm going to guess in this book it does not actually say that he's part Navajo Native American. Technically, asking for documentation from original peoples is synonymous with the white people in apartheid in South Africa. So that's actually very bad, technically. So I don't know if you knew or not, but he's part Navajo Native American by ancestral origins. So there we go. America passed up its opportunity for its first Native American president, at least so far as I'm aware, and chose a non-Native American instead back in 2008. Shame, shame. Although not shame on the people who voted for John McCain. All right. Okay, so that's my introduction. Book notes, including construction and design. It's 404 pages. The text is, I think it's the of the politicians, and the ones I've checked out to do, I have another two, or politicians or businessmen. It's small to tiny font. I think Molly's Game had the tiniest font I've had thus far. Go Lady. This might be the second tiniest font, but it makes up for it with the spacing is not necessarily changed. So like if there's a standard font size and a standard spacing, it's like the font shrunk but the spacing didn't. So then it's like, you know, it makes up for the small words, and it at least looks like the spacing is bigger even if it's not. So this is like an example of a full text page. We got the name of the book and the name of the chapter on the top. We've got page numbers on the top. I am going to show a picture. I'm going to put a disclosure here of it is not my picture. It is taken it's I think okay, similar to the John Leguizamo, although this came out first, but like for what I've talked about on this channel, and that the picture is in the text. And so I'll hold it back so you can kind of see. So here's a picture with the caption, and it's in line with the text, and it's not on like a fancy page or fancily like it's color, and then the rest is not kind of approach. Yeah, so I'll hold it back from, I did not take that picture as part of the book. I found sometimes people leave things in the book. Somebody left this in the book at page 44, which is kind of funny because a book I'm reading, a marker was left on page 44 in that book as well. And so I'm like, so I've found a boarding slip, I've found a holds receipt in different books as well. So I never, I've found a parking stub. Sometimes I take it out, sometimes I don't, from the book. I like, so the book size is nice. go like this. Although it is, then I guess I maybe have to bend it a little. But it's the paperback format. Yeah, it doesn't overdo it on pictures. It's like so the Joe Biden one didn't have any pictures, and then some people have big, insets, and this is like a in between of like, I'll put a few in. And in terms of my election voting, what is my relevance? I could not vote for him in the 2008 presidential election for the United States of America. I was too young. I supported Hillary Clinton, but she didn't get the Democratic nominee, so then of the remaining, yeah, I did like John McCain. Did I express it at the time? I didn't know, because I went to the presidential inauguration and somebody else got elected, and my parents were always emphasized being grateful, so I was like, okay, just say it like the other guy. I didn't say I liked the other guy. I did good because I didn't like the other guy. I still don't. Stay with the Native American. Yeah, so there we go. There's, I think, in terms of like flipping through it, there's his military career in kind of defending the United States of America, and not just having that be words, right? If somebody doesn't have actual military experience, they can say, I will seek to defend the nation, or support the troops, and it's like, it doesn't mean much if you haven't served in the United States of America military and none of your family has. Right? I have my uncle, I have one aunt, one uncle, biologically. 50% have served in the military. Of my biological grandparents, 50% have served in the United States of America military. I've got the United States of America Navy, United States of America Army, United States of America Marines. So, right, this is somebody who, for me, matters. Though for a lot of people, they kind of go, it's not really necessary. And it's like, well, we can't all have that privilege of being that oblivious. All right, so there we go. In conclusion, maybe one I'll read someday. It's impressive. Ooh, I have a note. It's impressive it's still on the shelves over 20 years later. There we go. So book notes for a 2003 autobiography, Worth the Fighting For, with John McCain.